What's going on? This is your man John Fortune, your host of the Frustrated Fan Sports Show. And today, of course, you know, today is the day. Keys to the game for Washington to beat the Denver Broncos on Sunday, a 4 o'clock game. Let's start. Let's get into the keys. I'm not even gonna waste time. Let's get into the keys. Key number one: stop the run. Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon are very dangerous guys. Javonte Davis more than Melvin Gordon, but they're both equally dangerous. Javonte Williams, he has this knack for breaking tackles, and also he actually has speed after he's broken the tackle, so he's a very massive load to deal with. Think of somebody in the sense of, I guess you could say, kind of like a Nick Chubb, where he's a little bit bigger than Nick Chubb. I mean, a little bit faster than Nick Chubb, but he's just as much of a bowling ball as Nick Chubb. So Javonte Williams is a dangerous one. Melvin Gordon is dangerous as well, but he's also dangerous in the passing game. Both of them are dangerous in the passing game, but the key here is to stop the run. Key number two: pressure Bridgewater and Locke. Now, the reason why I said both of them is because we've seen where they will bench Bridgewater and then they'll bring in Locke. Now, the benefit that we have with that is that if we pressure both of them, then there's a high chance that you can get sacks, and at the same time, you can help your secondary get picks. Now, with that being said, they're going to have to make sure that they force Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Lock to do exactly what they've been doing all season. Teddy Bridgewater has the knack of overthrowing receivers. Drew Lock has the knack of underthrowing receivers. So that is something that we have to really focus on, getting the pressure on Bridgewater and Lock. And that is very important. The reason why that is important is because my next key is just as valuable. And my next key is key number three: contain Fant and Patrick. Now, Noah Fant and Tim Patrick, these two guys for some reason are the relief valves for Locke and Bridgewater. Anytime they get into any type of trouble, they look for either one of them two. They look for 87 or 81. And if they don't find either 87 or 81, then they'll throw the ball away. Contain these two guys, and trust and believe, Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Lock will have a terrible day. But it's important that you have to contain these two guys because, again, both of these guys are the relief valves when it comes to Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Lock, especially when they're getting into trouble. Key number four, and this is a very important key because this is something we haven't seen the line do that well this year, and that's get your hands up. The defensive line has to get their hands up to block some of these passes because Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Lock can sit up there and throw straight line balls that can just be knocked down. So with that, I need the defensive line that every time they're even when they're held up somewhere, they need to just get their hands up to, block the passing lanes and stuff like that. So Bridgewater and Lock won't see some of these receivers that they're already targeting and everything. So the defensive line has to get their hands up. Key number five, and this is one that falls in line with the defensive line getting their hands up. Secondary needs to turn their heads around. Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater are prone to interceptions. Our secondary has to get their heads turned around, especially our corners, especially St. Juice. If St. Juice just turns his head around and actually goes to catch the ball, I think we'll come away with several interceptions in this game. But I need them to turn their heads around, especially when they see, because all these receivers on Denver, they all have tails when it comes to them getting ready to catch the ball. They all put their hands up fairly early. So to be quite honest, we can actually beat them based on the fact that, we can actually get interceptions based on the fact that that Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Lock will throw them. All we need to do is get our heads turned around, and we got picks. Key number 6. Run the ball. Like, when I say run the ball, it's like very important for us to run the ball. We can take advantage of a lot of things that Denver do. But when it comes down to it, running the ball is going to make sure that we control this game. Now, there are times where Denver plays a very, very stout blitz. And they blitz pretty often. And when they blitz, they come basically with a lot of people, and they do everything they can to disrupt the whole offense. But the key to getting them out of that is basically running the ball. You have to run the ball against them. Don't run the ball to the middle where their strength is. Try your best to run the ball to the outside and to the corners, so you don't have to worry about them coming up the middle of the field and basically blowing up the entire play. You don't want that. And that leads me into key number 7. Take advantage of the blitz. When they blitz, force them to get out of that blitzing style. Because, again, they're a team that will blitz. They will sit up there and blitz and not even care if anybody's behind them. They will blitz, and they will blitz pretty often. With that, you have to go to a short passing game. This is the game where Ricky Seals-Jones, and if Logan Thomas is back, Logan Thomas can actually make a huge impact. Not only that, you're also talking about our running backs can also be impactful if they throw screen plays, and even when it comes to the receivers, they do some type of quick slants and stuff like that. Take advantage of this blitz. Force them to get out of this blitzing package. Because again, if they get the opportunity to blitz and blitz often, we're going to have a very bad day. And for that, we have to take advantage of the blitz. Key number 8. And this kind of was like my key from last week, but key number 8. Taylor needs to use his legs. When the Broncos played the Ravens, and not to say that Taylor is on the same athletic ability as Lamar Jackson, but Lamar was able to take advantage of the defense at times just strictly off of using his legs. Now, the benefit that Taylor has is that they know he can run, but at the same time, nobody's ever certain when he's going to run. So for that, we're going to need Taylor to actually use his legs to kind of get out of the pocket and stuff, just so he can actually create more for himself. He's going to need to use his legs a lot in this game because, again, like I said, Denver likes to blitz. And Taylor's legs is going to be able to get them out of blitzing as often. And at the same time, get them into a point at where they're playing more of a prevent defense versus sitting up there and being able to just tee off on us because they're blitzing like crazy. And with that, with Taylor using his legs, that leads into my next key. Take deep shots when Taylor is outside the pocket. Again, Denver, their safeties haven't been looking that good. Justin Simmons, normally the stout secondary guy, he's not playing too well this year. You can actually take advantage of them on deep routes. There's been several games where we've seen it from the Pittsburgh Steelers took advantage of it. Cleveland took advantage of it. Baltimore took advantage of it. And, Jesus, who else? I can't remember who else, but a lot of those teams took advantage of going deep. In fact, I think the Jets actually took advantage of going deep too, because if I can remember, I think that was the game that Corey Davis had a big game. If I think that's the right one. But we can take major advantage of the Broncos when it comes to throwing deep. But a lot of that is on the fact of Taylor getting outside the pocket and throwing the ball deep. So that's my key number 9. Key number 10, and my final key, and the key that matters the most: no turnovers. We have to find a way to stop the turnovers, especially the ones at the inopportune times, because even though we had we had 2 fumbles that we recovered, it's still a problem that we can't have these possible turnovers. And even Taylor at the last time, where he threw the interception in the end zone, we can't have these mistakes happen that basically cost us the Green Bay game. Even though I never felt that we were going to win the game, but still it looked like we actually had a serious chance to win the game. But we cannot have any of these turnovers, because these turnovers are so costly that it's starting to become a major problem for us. And we can't sit up there and let them take advantage of the fact that we're turning the ball over. We need to sit up there and act like we actually want to win the game. Now, those are my 10 keys for the game against the Broncos. I want to say this. I do feel that there's a chance for us to win this game. In fact, I actually think we will win this game. Not, just because of the performance on last week, I do feel that we have a major chance of winning this game, and that we will win this game. The thing about it is that everybody feels that it's going to be a low-scoring game and everything like that. I'm not certain it's going to be a low-scoring game, but what I will say is this. I think Washington wins by 2 touchdowns. So, in my personal opinion, I think the score is actually going to be 28-14. I do feel that Washington is actually going to do a lot of things that's going to get a lot of pressure off of them. I do feel that they will be winning this game by 2 touchdowns, because, again, I see that Denver themselves are actually struggling. And everybody's talking about Jerry Jeudy coming back. I don't think he'll be as effective as y'all want him to. But if we can manage, at least, I'm going to say this. Out of all these keys, if we can actually get 5 of the 10 keys correct, we're going to win this game. Because, especially if we do all the ones that's on defense, because I feel that we can actually beat Denver, because there's nothing that other than Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon, and Noah Fant and Tim Patrick are very dangerous guys. But like I said, they're release valves. They never look for them in regards to the passing game all around until they get in trouble. So I personally feel we will win this game. I feel we win 28-14. You tell me what y'all think. This is a game that Washington can walk away with. Now, I will say this. I'm of the group that I feel benching Taylor Heinicke is not the right thing to do. I don't feel that Kyle Allen is the right guy to put in, because I don't think Kyle Allen can run the offense the same way. But, again, this is a huge game. With this game right here, we go into the bye. We can actually come out the bye actually playing very good football. But, again, like I said, I really do feel we can win this game. I really do feel we can win this game. And all we got to do is show up. And we got it. This has been your man, John Fortune. And this has been the Frustrated Fan Sports Show.